You may think sugar is your only enemy, but here's the truth. The rice, bread, pasta, or potatoes on your plate can turn into glucose in your blood almost instantly. And when this happens day after day, your liver quietly takes the hit until one day it simply can't keep up anymore. What's even more alarming is that you could be living with liver damage right now and still feel perfectly fine until one morning a blood test or scan reveals the silent harm that's been building for years. Most people never connect the soft, fluffy bread at breakfast, the steaming bowl of rice at lunch, or the pasta at dinner with serious liver problems. Yet your liver, that tireless organ filtering and processing everything you eat, can only take so much sugar and starch before microscopic changes begin inside its cells. These changes are silent, no pain, no warning signs. But every bite of refined carb, every sugary drink, pushes the liver closer to a tipping point. Today, I'm going to walk you through exactly how sugar and starch, even from foods you might have always believed were healthy, can overload your liver, encourage dangerous fat buildup, and push you toward insulin resistance. More importantly, I'll show you simple, science-backed steps you can start today to protect this vital organ for the rest of your life. And I promise, by the end of this video, you'll see everyday foods in a completely new light. Setting the stage. Why this matters. When most people think about sugar damage, they picture candy bars, cookies, sodas, and desserts. But here's the hidden reality. The starch in foods like white rice, bread, pasta, and potatoes is simply long chains of glucose molecules. From the moment you take a bite, your digestive enzymes act like sharp scissors, snipping those chains into pure sugar. Within minutes, your blood sugar starts to climb often faster than if you'd eaten something sweet. Your pancreas rushes to release insulin, moving the sugar into your cells. At the same time, your liver is forced into overdrive, working to process the sudden flood. The hidden danger is that your liver was never designed to face these repeated floods of glucose and fructose all day, every day. Over months and years, tiny fat droplets begin to accumulate inside liver cells. Silent inflammation starts to spread. And here's the cruel part. You feel nothing. No pain, no swelling, no sign that something is wrong until a blood test or scan suddenly tells you it is. That's what makes it so dangerous. The worst damage often happens when you feel your best. How sugar and starch are processed in the body. Let's break this down step by step so you can see why your daily eating habits matter more than you think. When you eat starchy foods, the glucose they contain is absorbed quickly into your bloodstream. This rapid influx causes a sharp spike in blood sugar, and your pancreas responds by releasing a surge of insulin. Insulin's job is to move that sugar into your muscles and liver, where it can be stored as glycogen or burned for energy. But if your storage tanks are already full, and for many people over 50, they usually are, your liver has no choice but to convert the excess into fat. Fructose is a different story. Found in table sugar, high fructose corn syrup, sweetened beverages, fruit juices, and even certain fruits, fructose doesn't cause the same immediate spike in blood sugar. Instead, it bypasses your muscles entirely and takes a direct route to your liver. Here's the catch. When fructose intake is high, your liver converts much of it into fat through a process called de novo lipogenesis. Over time, this fat builds up inside your liver cells, leading to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, now affecting roughly 1 in 4 adults worldwide. And once your liver becomes fatty, your body's sensitivity to insulin drops. That means the next time you eat carbs, your blood sugar will rise even higher, locking you into a vicious cycle of more sugar, more liver fat, and worsening insulin resistance. Reflective question. Think about yesterday. Did you have fruit juice in the morning, sweet tea in the afternoon, a dessert after dinner? Your liver had to handle all of that, and it never gets a break. Why fructose is especially dangerous. Glucose from starch can at least be burned by your muscles for energy, especially if you're active. But fructose? Only your liver can process it. This means even modest amounts of added sugar, if consumed daily, can overwhelm your liver's capacity. Imagine your liver as a kitchen sink. A slow trickle of water and occasional treat flows down the drain without issue. But turn the faucet on full blast and leave it running for hours, and the sink will overflow. In your body, that overflow is fat spilling into your bloodstream, clogging your arteries, and igniting inflammation in tissues throughout your body. Studies have found that diets high in fructose not only increase belly fat, but also disrupt your brain's hunger signals, making you crave more sugar and refined carbs. The result is a self-reinforcing loop. The more sugar you eat, the more liver fat you store. The more liver fat you store, the more your hormones push you toward cravings you can't resist. This isn't just about your waistline. It's about a chain reaction in your body that makes stopping sugar harder every day you delay. Carbs versus protein versus fat. Different impacts on blood sugar. Not all calories affect your blood sugar the same way. Carbohydrates, especially refined starches, cause quick, sharp spikes in both blood sugar and insulin. Protein has a gentler effect, and when eaten alongside carbs, it slows digestion and blunts the spike. Healthy fats, like those from avocados, nuts, and olive oil, have almost no immediate effect on blood sugar and help keep you feeling full for hours. The real metabolic danger comes from combining high amounts of carbs and fats in the same meal. Think donuts, pizza, pastries, and fast food. This combination floods your system with more calories than you can burn, while simultaneously triggering massive insulin surges. Your liver is forced to store even more fat, and over time, this pattern can lock your metabolism in fat storage mode. Reflective question. Think about your favorite comfort meal. Is it mostly carbs, mostly fat, or both? If it's both, that's the exact recipe your liver dreads. Why normal blood sugar isn't always safe. You might think, my fasting blood sugar is under 100, so I'm fine. But fasting numbers only tell part of the story. Many people with normal fasting glucose still have dangerous post-meal spikes, sometimes reaching 160 to 180 milligrams per deciliter, and they don't even know it. These repeated spikes silently damage blood vessels, inflame the liver, and place extra strain on the pancreas. Continuous glucose monitoring has revealed that even people with great lab results can spend several hours a day in a high-sugar state. Over years, this steady drip of damage sets the stage for fatty liver, prediabetes, and eventually type 2 diabetes. The number you see on your lab report is just one moment in time. What's happening between those moments could be far more important. The path from high-carb intake to insulin resistance. Here's how the downward spiral unfolds. You eat a meal rich in refined carbs or sugar. Your blood sugar spikes. Insulin surges to bring it down. Over time, your cells start to ignore insulin's message, forcing your pancreas to release more and more. Meanwhile, your liver, already flooded with glucose and fructose, starts converting the excess into fat. That fat makes your liver even less responsive to insulin, creating a feedback loop that keeps blood sugar higher for longer. This isn't just theory. Liver biopsies from people on chronically high-carb diets show the same signature: fat deposits, inflammation, and even early scarring damage that can take years to undo. Real-life impact, stories that hit home. A 52-year-old man visited his doctor complaining of constant fatigue. His fasting blood sugar looked normal, but an ultrasound told a different story: a fatty liver. He didn't drink alcohol, didn't snack on candy. His diet? White rice, bread, and noodles every single day. With some simple changes, reducing starch, increasing protein, and loading up on non-starchy vegetables, his liver enzymes normalized in just 4 months. His energy returned. He felt lighter, more alert, more alive. It's not just the obvious sweets. The foods you think are harmless might be silently reshaping your health. Practical steps to protect your liver. Fill at least half your plate with non-starchy vegetables: leafy greens, broccoli, cauliflower, zucchini, and peppers. Swap refined carbs for lower glycemic options like quinoa, lentils, and sweet potatoes, but keep portions moderate. Pair carbs with protein and healthy fats to slow their absorption. Avoid fruit juices and sweetened drinks. Choose whole fruit instead. Make desserts and white flour products an occasional indulgence, not a daily habit. Small, steady changes like these give your liver the space to heal and help restore your body's sensitivity to insulin. Keep viewers engaged. If this has opened your eyes, my next video on the 7 foods that can lower your blood sugar within just 30 minutes is the perfect next step. It's simple, powerful, and could be exactly what your liver needs right now. Today, you've learned how sugar and starch, even from everyday staples like bread, rice, and pasta, can overload your liver, trigger fat buildup, and set the stage for insulin resistance. You've seen why fructose is uniquely damaging, how carbs spike insulin far more than protein or fat, and why a normal blood sugar reading can still hide trouble. The good news? You can change course starting today. Reduce refined carbs. Eat more non-starchy vegetables. Balance your meals. Your liver can recover, and so can your energy, your focus, and your long-term health. Now tell me in the comments which carb will be the hardest for you to cut back on. And before you leave, tap here to watch my next video. It might save your liver before the damage becomes permanent.